Tonight, unbearable heat. Millions of Canadians stuck in a heat dome.
It's definitely tough, even if you're used to it. The heat affects everyone differently.
Soaring temperatures plus humidity with no relief for days. The dangers of extreme heat. Boeing's top executive grilled over safety concerns.
You don't recognize the Boeing that has airplanes falling out of the sky?
As crash victims' families push for charges.
I want them to be held accountable.
And Justin Timberlake charged with drunk driving.
There was a time where I think he would have been able to brush this off, and now I don't think that's the case anymore.
What court documents reveal about the arrest.
From CBC News, this is The National with Chief Correspondent Adrian Arsenault.
Thanks for joining us. We begin with breaking news out of Florida tonight, where the Edmonton Oilers are still in the hunt for the Stanley Cup. They have avoided elimination against the Panthers again with a Game 5 win in the final.
McDavid tipped it in, scores! Connor McDavid has done it again, and this one's going back to Edmonton.
The Oilers beating the Panthers 5-3 tonight as they continue to climb out of a hole after losing the first 3 games of the series. It means the dream of bringing the Stanley Cup back to Canada for the first time in 31 years is still alive. So thousands of elated Oilers fans are in Edmonton's downtown ice district. That is where Nancy Carlson is tonight. Nancy, what was the reaction to the final buzzer?
Oh my gosh, this place went absolutely wild. It was incredible to see. Of course, Oilers fans have had so much confidence in the team, and for it to actually come to fruition tonight to win this game, oh my gosh. But they thought there was going to be a win. There was that empty net goal just to tie things up, just to clinch that win. And from that moment on, oh my gosh, singing, dancing, much like what you're hearing and seeing right now. It is an incredible feeling in Edmonton, and I don't think you just have to be an ice district in order to feel it. I think you can feel it all around the city.
Everybody needs a little good news. So they got the win tonight. What's next?
Oh my gosh, well, next they come back to Edmonton, and that game happens on Friday. So again, the Oilers are still in a tough position. They have to win that game because the Panthers are up 3 games. They just have to win 1 more, and they will take the Stanley Cup win away from the Oilers. It's something that a Canadian team hasn't claimed in more than 30 years. So there is so much on the line. And this kind of excitement, if you think this is exciting with an away game, I can only imagine what it's going to be like when Oilers have home ice advantage here at Rogers Place on Friday when the Panthers are in town.
All right, can't wait. Nancy Carlson in Edmonton's Ice District tonight. Well, also tonight, millions of Canadians are in the grip of a dangerous, unrelenting heat wave, and forecasters say it could be days before many see relief. Across parts of Ontario and Quebec today, scenes usually reserved for the depths of July and August. People trying to get cool in temperatures that felt like 40 plus with the humidex. So wide swaths of the country are feeling it. Right now, 6 provinces are under alert for extreme heat, with more than 14 million people affected. Ithil Musa begins our coverage with a look at how people are coping and efforts to help the most vulnerable.
For millions of Canadians, trying to beat the heat felt nearly impossible. Soaring temperatures with no relief.
I'm a little bit nervous, to be honest with you. Even though we have the beach, I just lose all my energy when I'm outside.
I like it right now. I have a feeling my feelings will change by August.
I actually went to Costco right when they opened, worried that they'd be out of ACs.
Environment Canada says daytime highs in some parts of the country could feel like 45 degrees Celsius with the humidex and stay overnight. A dangerous combination, particularly for the vulnerable.
People can die from the heat, just like they can die from the cold.
Many cities have opened cooling centers and pools to help people escape. Experts say it's all happening because of a heat dome, a high-pressure weather system that pushes hot air down and traps it.
From Atlanta, Georgia to Atlantic Canada, we're under this heat dome. Not only do you have the heat, but also you have the poor air quality from the fact the sun will cook the chemicals coming out of our tailpipes and smokestacks. It's just the whole day, morning, noon, and night. We can't escape it.
And neither can animals. Like these polar bears at the Toronto Zoo that are trying to keep cool.
So in a hot day, they have 3 different places they can go swim. They have an ice machine and, of course, access to their housing in the back, so they can actually go inside and enjoy an air-conditioned room.
Though with days to go in this heat wave, what's the sort of advice being shared to help people get through it?
Yeah, well, the big message, Adrienne, for the public is to check in on your neighbors, especially the elderly and those without air conditioning, just to make sure they're okay. For those who like to exercise outside, be extremely cautious. It's important to, remain hydrated, to drink lots of water. As this temperature continues to rise, across the country, there are very few breaks. I mean, even as the sun here is setting in Toronto, it's still very, very hot. So the key message is to remain cautious, to remain cool, and to check in on vulnerable loved ones and neighbors.
All right, Ifil Musa in Toronto. Okay, let's bring in meteorologist Colette Kennedy. So Colette, can you give us a sense of what we can expect the next few days to be like?
Yeah, for sure, Adrienne. I mean, this was really day one where it moved into the Maritimes, but tomorrow it pushes even further east. So get ready, Nova Scotia. It's coming further your way. And highs tomorrow again into the 30s for much of Ontario. And in fact, you'll see some mid-30s, Ottawa and towards Montreal. And you're getting there in Moncton at 35. Fredericton, I'm expecting 36 degrees. There you go, Halifax, joining in with the temperature in the 30s. And of course, it's not just the heat, it is the humidex value that we have to look at. And Truro today didn't even get to 30 with that humidex. Tomorrow it's going to feel like 41, and it will feel like the mid-40s from Montreal, Windsor, towards Moncton.
So as this progresses, what's your sense of when it ends?
Yeah, so this heat dome is going to keep sliding east, but it will eventually begin to break down. So the jet stream not helping, it's not really pushing it out of the way. We're just getting that sinking air, trapping the heat at the surface. But as we move towards the weekend, we should begin to see relief, and relief for our friends in Western Canada as things begin to warm up as well. The exception is likely going to be southwestern Ontario. I think this heat is going to hold there through the weekend.
All right, Colette Kennedy, thank you. Well, the intense heat hitting in places before the end of the school year, and there's growing concerns that classrooms just aren't equipped to keep students and teachers cool. Deanna Sumnak-Johnson shows us the impact.
Grade 4 student Abigail Lafèvre says that on hot days it's hard to concentrate in class.
And it's usually like 27, 28, 29, sometimes even 30.
Like many schools across Canada, Abigail's doesn't have air conditioning.
There's so many kids at our school that are leaving early because they are sick. They're pale, they're complaining that they're going to throw up.
With heat waves starting as early as May and lasting well into the fall, climate change impacts are felt by Canada's students. This is not the classroom heat you may remember as a child. It's more intense and could last for months.
Heat is underappreciated as a hazard, but it's responsible for more illnesses and deaths than all other natural weather hazards. For children in schools, it reduces their ability to learn.
We emailed provincial and territorial ministries of education. Some answered our questions about how they're tackling overheated classrooms. BC Ministry of Education said that it upgraded HVAC systems in 400 schools since 2020 to the tune of $300 million. Alberta said school boards have the autonomy, accountability, and responsibility to ensure their facilities are responsive to extreme weather conditions. A similar sentiment was expressed by education ministries in several other provinces. But this Ontario School Board trustee does not buy it.
The money that the government gives us isn't enough. And in this day and age, it's unacceptable.
At her initiative, a dozen schools in Toronto Catholic School Board are piloting a project, misting stations where kids can cool off.
It's nice when like the mist hits you because it's like a big relief, you know?
It's a solution, but not exactly for the problem we have. It doesn't solve the heat in the classrooms.
As parents and educators fight to make schools a safe and comfortable place to learn in a changing climate. Deanna Sumanak-Johnson, CBC News, Toronto.
Well, U.S. President Joe Biden announced a new path to permanent residency for hundreds of thousands of undocumented spouses of American citizens.
This action will allow them to file the paperwork for legal status in the United States, allow them to work while they remain with their families in the United States.
And this new executive action will shield about 500,000 spouses who've lived in the U.S. for at least 10 years from deportation. Now, currently, undocumented spouses must return to their home country during the immigration process with no assurance they'll be allowed back into the U.S. Well, U.S. lawmakers grilled Boeing CEO over the troubled aerospace giant's safety record and allegations of retaliating against whistleblowers, all while families who lost loved ones in the MAX 8 crashes sat right behind him. Katie Simpson takes us through the heated hearing.
They want their suffering acknowledged. Families of Boeing crash victims holding photos of their loved ones. So when the company's CEO walked in, he had to see their faces. And he did offer his condolences. Dave Calhoun unexpectedly turned his back to lawmakers to ask for forgiveness.
I would like to apologize on behalf of all of our Boeing associates for your losses. They're gut-wrenching.
His words did little to ease tensions. Calhoun largely dodged direct questions about Boeing's safety record to the frustration of lawmakers.
Well, now you're going to make me really angry.
Senators are debating recommending criminal charges against Boeing for failing to improve plane safety, despite promises to do so in the wake of 2 deadly 737 MAX crashes. While a separate investigation is also underway into the Air Alaska mid-flight door plug blowout. Calhoun pushed back against whistleblower accusations.
I have not had any profits.
That Boeing dangerously cuts corners to increase profits.
Senator, I don't recognize any of the Boeing you described.
Really?
And I want to assure...
You don't recognize the Boeing that has airplanes falling out of the sky?
And while he defended the company's handling of whistleblower complaints, he did not offer specifics about efforts to stop managers from punishing those who speak up.
We have a process. It works.
Well, I beg to differ. It's not working.
Okay.
It's not working. You know it's not working.
As investigations continue, the families of Boeing MAX 737 crash victims are demanding accountability. Clarice Moore drove 9 hours from Toronto in memory of her daughter Danielle.
Did she cry for me? Did she know that will be his last breath? Did someone hold her hands? So Calhoun, Boeing, CEO, management, did you hear my daughter cry?
Dave Calhoun previously announced he'd be stepping down at the end of this year. As CEO last year, he made more than $30 million U.S. Katie Simpson, CBC News, Washington.
Frustration tonight from Canadian airline passengers who say they are fed up with fees for services that used to be free. Sophia Harris breaks down how much more you might pay the next time you fly.
Thanks for calling WestJet.
Jana Fadovic was shocked when she called WestJet to book a family trip to Phoenix and learned she must now pay to book flights by phone.
For econo fares, there will be a $25 fee plus taxes.
I just feel like it's just a money grab.
Airline fees aren't new, but some major carriers are now charging for features previously included.
It's just pricing people out of being able to fly.
Air Canada also recently fielded customer complaints after introducing a fee for economy seat selection at check-in. And that's not all.
Oh yeah, no carry-on luggage, no carry-on bag.
WestJet came under fire on social media this month after revealing new details of its lowest fare, now called Ultra Basic. Customers must pay extra for overhead carry-on, and if they don't pay a fee for seat selection, they'll be seated at the back of the plane.
So what do you think of Ultra Basic? It's like they're trying to punish people for wanting to pay less. It's like, fine, you think you can pay the least amount for a ticket? Well, we'll show you.
Air Canada and WestJet told CBC News service charges benefit passengers because they only have to pay for the features they want. Even so, Ottawa has pledged to make airline fees more transparent, but it has no action plan as of yet.
Transparency is something that is a good thing.
This consumer advocate says airlines should display optional fees alongside the ticket price.
It would be much easier for consumers to have a full idea of what they're paying and be able to compare prices.
However, more transparency won't bring an end to airline fees.
We don't need to pay for customer service. Customer service should be provided.
Determined not to pay WestJet's phone charge, Fadovic booked her tickets online, reluctantly. Sophia Harris, CBC News, Toronto.
Well, pop superstar Justin Timberlake is facing drunk driving charges. He was arrested in the Hamptons overnight. Here's Tegan Bodette on what happened and the potential damage to his public image.
He's one of the world's biggest pop stars, but he spent the night in jail, charged with driving while intoxicated. A statement from local police says Justin Timberlake was arrested in the Hamptons overnight Tuesday. Police pulled over his BMW after he allegedly failed to stop at a stop sign. Officers claim he was, quote, operating his vehicle in an intoxicated condition. The pop star claimed he had only one martini, and court documents say he refused a breathalyzer test. He's since been released without bail.
He did have a really squeaky clean image. I think for him, the DUI probably bothers him more personally because he's a dad, he's a husband.
Timberlake got his start as a Disney Mouseketeer, rocketing to fame in the boy band NSYNC. He has won multiple Grammys and starred in several hit movies. But he has apologized for his alcohol use in the past. In 2019, he apologized to his wife on Instagram after pictures circulated of him with a co-star. He wrote he drank too much and regretted his behavior the night the photos were taken. This culture critic says Timberlake's fan base is not what it once was, and this could impact his public image.
There was a time where I think he would have been able to brush this off as no big deal. It's a youthful indiscretion, like no big deal. And now I don't think that's the case anymore.
Timberlake is currently touring in support of his most recent album, Everything I Thought I Was. But he will have to deal with this charge before that tour ends. Tegan Bodette, CBC News, Toronto.
Baseball great Willie Mays has died at 93. His death marked by a tribute at Chicago's Wrigley Field.
A moment of silence as we remember Willie Mays.
Mays spent much of his legendary career with the San Francisco Giants, who are playing the Cubs tonight. Known to millions as the Say Hey Kid, Mays started out in what was known as the Negro American League, when pro baseball was still segregated by race. After joining the MLB, Mays became a two-time MVP, 24-time All-Star, and a recipient of the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Well, two isolated leaders with powerful arsenals come together in Pyongyang. Why Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-un could be meeting and the concern from the West. Plus exclusive operating room access.
We found more fibroids than we were expecting.
For a procedure that is helping change lives. And an amazing reaction to a birthday invitation. We're back in 2 minutes. Sikh activists in Vancouver held a mock murder trial today for India's Prime Minister to mark 1 year since the killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau publicly linked the killing to India's government. 4 people have since been charged with murder. Russian President Vladimir Putin has arrived in North Korea, his first visit in more than 20 years. He's seeking support from Kim Jong-un for his war in Ukraine. Sasha Petrusik now with the West's concern over this alliance.
North Korean leader Kim Jong-un waited in the shadows as Russian President Vladimir Putin made his first visit to North Korea in almost a quarter century. Kim was a teenager back then, His father was supreme leader. This time, Putin's arrival was marked by Russian military music. And statements of mutual distrust of the United States in state media. But much has changed since the last visit. North Korea is now a nuclear power with missiles threatening the U.S. and a huge stockpile of conventional weapons Russia needs. Moscow has more nuclear know-how, along with a Security Council veto that could help Kim avoid further UN sanctions. Their ties have gotten closer since Russia's war in Ukraine. Our right to good relations with our neighbors shouldn't be challenged, says Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov. But Washington sees a dangerous alliance.
North Korea is providing significant munitions to Russia.
South Korean officials say Pyongyang has already sent 10,000 shipping containers of ammunition used in Russian attacks on Ukraine, along with ballistic missiles, whose fragments have been found in frontline Ukrainian cities. Both men have the U.S. in their sights, with Putin seeking retribution.
That's a way to pay America back for what he believes is American support for Ukraine in America's proxy war against Russia.
A rekindled relationship that may even mean helping Kim fulfill his dream, perfecting nuclear weapons that can hit the U.S. mainland. Sasha Petrusik, CBC News, Toronto.
One of the mainstays in Canada's pandemic response shares how personal attacks have hurt his family.
We have a son with a very complex disability. We were really on edge.
Dr. Robert Strang speaks out after charges against the people accused of harassing him were dropped. Plus, it's a condition common for women in their 30s and 40s, sometimes causing extreme pain.
I was actually really scared that I would die from this.
How new ways to treat fibroids are giving women their lives back. And deciphering facts from fiction on common period myths.
Is it actually false?
The National breaks down the stories shaping our world. Next.
I was trying to wiggle all the way in just because, in the moment I was like, if this guy crashes, I'm going to get beat up pretty bad.
Okay, so that's Ohio firefighter Brian Palladino recounting his quick action to prevent an ambulance theft right outside a local hospital, literally jumping onto the door, grabbing the steering wheel. The suspect was arrested. Palladino came away with a few scrapes and a great story. Nova Scotia's top doctor is speaking out tonight about the harassment of healthcare workers. He says it is dissuading people from taking public health jobs. As Kayla Hounsell reports, for him, the issue is personal.
What? Hey, Jim.
I think you have the wrong number.
A prank call to Nova Scotia's Chief Medical Officer of Health. For 3 nights back in 2022, Dr. Robert Strang says people protesting COVID restrictions parked outside his home and called him continuously.
Robert?
They were shining lights into our rooms in our house. We have a son with a very complex disability. We were really on edge because once he's awake for the rest of the night.
2 people were charged with criminal harassment, mischief, making harassing phone calls, and intimidation of a health professional. One of them, Jeremy McKenzie, is the founder of the group Diagolon, which has been the subject of controversy in the House of Commons.
Diagolon stands against everything we stand for as Canadians.
And has been linked to the border blockade in Coutts, Alberta, and the trucker convoy in downtown Ottawa.
McKenzie declined to be interviewed. He was set to go to trial last week, but the charges against him were thrown out because of a Supreme Court of Canada ruling that says people have a right to go to trial within 18 months of their arrest.
It wasn't because of an acknowledgement or any condoning at all that the actions that were taken by those individuals was appropriate anyway.
Strang says harassment of healthcare workers is now dissuading some.
People are looking at, why would I want to be a chief medical officer of health?
There's no question it seems to be escalating.
The Canadian Medical Association lobbied for a law that came into force more than 2 years ago to protect healthcare providers, but its impact remains unclear.
I'm aware that some hospitals are considering putting metal detectors at their doors to avoid injury to their staff.
Strang says what took place outside his home left him feeling vulnerable, but his focus now is on asking Canadians to work together to prevent this kind of behavior. Kayla Hounsell, CBC News, Halifax.
Now it's time to dig deeper into the stories shaping our world. Tonight, we're focused on two key aspects of women's health. Menstruation myths circulating online, from period syncing to a reliance on organic products.
That's brought to you by people who want you to pay more so they can make more money.
We're here to separate fact from fiction, but first, reason for optimism for women with fibroids. We go inside an operating room to see the new and less invasive treatment options.
It really impacted my life. I really had to plan everything around my cycle.
Innovative procedures, faster recovery, less downtime. Tashana Reid got exclusive access in a Toronto hospital where the lead surgeon explains the new procedure and patients share their stories.
It has been a long road for this patient, but after years of dealing with fibroids, a treatment that promises relief from the growing tumors taking up space in her body.
In the past, invasive surgeries were one of the few treatment options available, but now new technology aims to give women more options to recover faster and with less risk. In this OR, we're about to see one of those new procedures.
Posterior lower uterine segment.
Dr. Andre LaRoche is chief of obstetrics and gynecology at Humber River Hospital.
So this is our largest fibroid, which is the one at the back here.
On the operating table is a 51-year-old woman who has struggled with heavy periods, pain, and frequent urination caused by multiple fibroids.
So every fibroid is going to take a little bit longer or faster depending on the consistency of your fibroid.
Only a couple of incisions are necessary. The device delivers radio waves and heat directly into the fibroid and destroys the tissue, turning it from a hard, smooth muscle to a soft consistency, allowing it to shrink over time and alleviate symptoms, some within weeks.
So far we've done 1, 2, 3, 4. This is our fourth fibroid. The largest fibroid was about 8 centimeters.
It's quite amazing.
In between surgeries, we catch up with Dr. LaRoche.
And the one thing that we saw during the surgery was that we found more fibroids than we were expecting to find.
Despite the initial scans showing 5 fibroids, they found and treated 10.
Traditionally, we would have to do some form of larger cut, typically, to get fibroids out, either removing the fibroids or removing the whole uterus.
This laparoscopic ultrasound first arrived in Canada 2 years ago and is being introduced in some medical centers across the country. Fibroids are non-cancerous tumors that develop in the wall of the uterus. Some can be as small as a grape, while others can reach the size of a cantaloupe, or even larger. About 70% of women will develop fibroids by age 50, and about a third will have serious symptoms.
Fibroids cause heavier bleeding.
Dr. Cindy Maxwell at Women's College Hospital has advocated for more fibroid research.
We don't tend to find out about the fibroids until people have reached a stage where they have such symptoms that they require medical attention.
I just had really big fibroids.
Social media has become a space for women to share their stories.
That is a 16-centimeter fibroid, basically taking up my entire body.
The symptoms can be debilitating and life-altering.
They can impact people's fertility as well as their ability to carry pregnancies, especially in the early stages.
For decades, there have been a range of treatments, from medications for pain and heavy bleeding to surgical options like a myomectomy to remove the fibroids or a hysterectomy, which takes out the uterus. Between 2022 and 2023, there were more than 10,000 hysterectomies and over 6,000 myomectomies due to fibroids.
Accessible and affordable.
TV Ontario host Nam Kiwanuka endured heavy menstrual bleeding and pain.
I haven't slept 8 hours straight in a very long time.
As she battled fibroids for nearly 2 years.
It was not unusual for me to have up to 9 pads. like stacked on top of each other.
So how long would a bag like this last you?
This is about 2 or 3 days.
Wow.
Yeah, these are tumors that are in your uterus. And
At one point, she bled for 52 days straight.
it was really hard to convince doctors that I needed help. It was just dismissed as my period. It's just your period. It's just fibroids.
Trips to the ER couldn't be avoided as her pain and symptoms worsened month to month.
I was actually really scared that I would die from this, because I would sit on the toilet at night and it would just blood would just come out of my body, and I didn't know how to stop it.
Her only solution, advised her doctor, was a hysterectomy. Her surgeon took this photo, evidence of the multiple fibroids in her uterus, the largest measuring 10 centimeters.
And when I saw the picture, it was a sense of relief in the sense that it wasn't in my head.
But months after surgery, due to complications, she's dealing with significant pain. Like any major surgery, a hysterectomy comes with risks and a long recovery.
Another emerging treatment for fibroids aims to avoid surgery altogether. Canadian scientists are developing a focused ultrasound device. Patients wouldn't need to go under the knife, and it could help preserve fertility.
This is a graphic of how the patient would lie on this unit, tummy down.
Dr. Elizabeth David is a radiologist and principal investigator at Sunnybrook Hospital. Her team completed phase 2 of a clinical trial with 50 women using a high-intensity focused ultrasound machine.
The ultrasound comes from below and focuses on the fibroid at that red spot here.
The device uses sound waves and heat to essentially kill the fibroid.
It's almost like you've scooped out some of the tumor, and that's how you get that shrinkage. This essentially depicts the uterus, which has a round area in here, which is the fibroid. The darker area is the area that we've treated.
Their findings are now under review by Health Canada. If approved, it would be the first focused ultrasound treatment for fibroids in the country.
If someone is so hindered or so disabled by their menses every month, such that they can't go to work or they can't function properly, that is an enormous societal cost.
About 1 week after surgery, we caught up with Elena Supa, the patient from Humber River Hospital.
I feel really good. It's been 8 days and pretty much back to normal.
For nearly 12 years, her life revolved around fibroids.
It's been a struggle. It really impacted my life. I really had to plan everything around my cycle.
It will still be a few months before she sees the full impact of the procedure, but already she feels less pressure on her bladder.
I'm hopeful. I'm really hopeful. I'm looking forward to the future.
A future where women will have more treatments for a problem so many have suffered with in silence.
Tashana, this is so interesting. It's so important. This ultrasound-focused treatment, how soon do you think we could see that procedure in Canada?
You know, it really depends on when researchers at Sunnybrook get an answer from Health Canada. It could be in the coming months. And depending on that answer, it could mean that they need to conduct some more safety trials, or Health Canada could decide that it is safe to move forward.
These are so common. Fibroids are so common. But I'm curious what maybe surprised you working on this?
I was mostly shocked at how many people I know who are dealing with this issue. Coworkers, family members, people in my community, from the physical impacts to even the ability to start a family. And there are also racial disparities as well. So Black women are more likely to develop fibroids at a younger age, develop larger fibroids, and severe symptoms. And some of the experts I spoke to say this is an issue that just does not get the attention it deserves.
Well, I'm glad you're giving it some. Tashana, thank you.
You're welcome.
Coming up, why false information about periods can become ingrained in the public.
It's very hard when something was put in your brain not by science to get it out with science.
We'll debunk some of the biggest myths that are circulating online. Setting the record straight on the most common myths about menstruation.
We all believe in the illusory truth effect. That's the idea that repetition breeds accuracy.
So what are some of the misconceptions and what does the science say? Anya Zolojowski breaks down 4 myths that proliferate online and looks at their potential harmful effects.
Welcome to my period talk.
What names have you called your period?
I have a super heavy flow.
How much do you think you know about periods?
I think that's true.
I'd stand corrected.
Hi.
About half the population gets them, but it turns out there is a lot many of us don't actually know about our periods. So we're going to break down 4 myths that might surprise you.
Excuse me? Hi, we're with CBC, and I was wondering if you had a few seconds just to chat about how much people know about periods.
Sure, okay.
Myth 1, period syncing.
True or false, women's periods can sync up when they live in close quarters.
I think that's true.
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 I think that is true. I don't know if if that's just like an old wives' tale, but I feel like that is something my wife, when she's been in close quarters with people, has had that experience.
I think that's false.
Turns out it is false.
If menstrual syncing were true, I'd tell you, but it's actually not possible because we don't have pheromones. Now, that's something that really rocks a lot of people's world because the whole perfume industry is sort of, geared around telling you that there's pheromones. So we all believe in the illusory truth effect. That's the idea that repetition breeds accuracy.
That's Jen Gunter, an OBGYN who wrote Blood, a book that busts period myths. And some of it was really surprising.
What if I told you that was false?
Is it actually false?
Yeah, I know, I was mind blown. What if I told you we spoke to a guy who said there's no way that that's possible?
Wrong.
So I can totally understand people reading that information and being like, whoa, like that can't be right. So if you've heard from friend after friend after friend about cycle syncing over and over and over again, of course that's become a belief for you. And it's very hard when something was put in your brain not by science to get it out with science, right?
The reason for that is because when we all lived in small kind of tribal-like communities.
Period syncing is hard to debunk. So many of us thought it was a thing. That begs the question, what else do we get wrong with periods?
Do you get your period every month? If so, do you use these? This is your reminder that it actually does matter what you decide to put in and on your body.
Whatever's on that tampon that's in your vagina is going to be absorbed in the bloodstream.
Myth 2. We know organic tampons cost more, but are they better?
So first, true or false? Organic period products are safer than non-organic period products.
I would say true.
Why?
They're not bleached, less toxins, perhaps more research around where they're sourcing the materials from.
I would think true.
Organic is better.
For all the years I had a period, I used organic tampons, actually Natural Care. They were the best. No complications.
But is it true? People on the street believe it, and on social media too. This has nearly 200,000 views.
Because I think that it's so important to use more organic menstrual products.
If somebody's using the terms pure, clean, natural, organic, I'd be very concerned. What you want are data and statistics. The fact that, for example, organic tampons are better, that's brought to you by the organic industry. That's brought to you by people who want you to pay more so they can make more money. And it's hard, again, because it ties into purity culture, right? Using those words really draws us in. Yeah, why not use your money for shoes?
And get this, all those marketing terms aren't regulated. All sell, no science. So how do the rest of us feel about that?
What if I told you that it doesn't matter?
Ooh, okay. All right.
What if I told you it's false?
We are from India. We use organic products. First, it's safe.
What if I told you it doesn't matter what you use?
Okay,
it's whatever makes
I'm
you comfortable.
0 for 2.
We still have a few questions.
Okay, I would think fewer chemicals.
Here's another myth.
I was getting periods from hell.
The area is sensitive during that time.
If you are a girl or a woman, you need to hear this.
Myth 3. Some period products could make cramps worse.
Another one is, do you think that period products can make cramps worse?
No, I don't. I mean, well, I guess if you have maybe the wrong size pads or something like that.
True or false? Period products can make cramps worse.
I think it's false. It depends upon our hormones.
What kind of period products?
Let's think tampons, Diva cups, pads.
Oh, I'd say false. They don't make them worse.
That's true. And Jen Gunter says periods shouldn't be debilitatingly painful, regardless of what product you use.
The harm is people thinking that if they don't use menstrual products, that their terrible cramps are going to go away, and so they sit at home, bleeding, as opposed to getting medical care.
So many of us get our periods, and we know what they feel like.
Cramps. I always get a headache.
Irritability.
Bloating, breast tenderness.
Good one.
So women's health has been grossly underfunded. People need to have more time with their physicians. We need to have appropriate funding for healthcare, and at the provincial level, women's health has really had the short shrift. Like we need to do a better job at a public health level, teaching people the basics so they know.
Raw papaya helps stimulate contractions in the uterus.
We have one more myth to bust, and keep in mind, this is only a very short list. Social media is brimming with misinformation about periods, and it's easy to spot once you know how.
The idea that, in a country like Canada with an amazing healthcare system, that people are turning to sort of, uninformed sources is simply not acceptable.
But there is some good information. There are also doctors on TikTok providing science-based information to help balance it out.
Heavy menstrual bleeding is called menorrhagia, and it's important to diagnose this because it can lead to things like low iron and anemia.
Because you can see here the hormones are peaking and all of a sudden they drop down.
Boys, 5 things you need to know about periods. Yes, boys.
That's myth 4. It's all just girls stuff. And maybe not a myth, but certainly that's how it's been for centuries. The idea that only women and girls need to learn about menstruation. But many experts say that is not good enough. Jen Gunter says it can be harmful when half the population doesn't know enough about menstruation.
What is the harm in men not knowing enough about periods?
If you're, a man and you have a daughter, or you have, a trans son who menstruates, or a non-binary child who menstruates, don't you want to learn about the biology? So, if your child is suffering from menstrual cramps, you can say, hey, I read in this book that you can take ibuprofen. Let's go get some. Maybe if men learned more about the reproductive cycle, they'd say, hey, you know what? Now I understand why, my partner, who's suffering from PMS, has a harder time 4 or 5 days before her period starts. You know what? I'm going to make dinner the last week of her menstrual cycle.
It does seem like people want to know more these days.
Do you think it's important for men to know about periods?
Yes, sure. They're part of our lives too.
The more education that's shared, the more we all benefit.
So Anya heard from Dr. Gunter that to combat the myths amplified online, it's critical to have more research and better menstrual health education. Well, coming up, a friendly gesture met by a moment of pure happiness.
I invited you to a birthday party.
Next, the big impact of that invitation. Mason Avis is 15. She has a wickedly wonderful smile and a great sense of fun, but she doesn't get invited to a whole lot of birthday parties. So when she jumped into her mom's car, proudly waving a card, it was clear something special was happening. And tonight, the joy of the moment is our moment.
Got invited to a birthday party.
Macy's a freshman in high school. She's going into 10th grade. And I can count on one hand the amount of birthday parties she's been invited to from school friends. So Macy got in the car at pickup, right? And she held up for me an invitation. What was the invitation for?
Birthday party.
And she just was giddy.
Jeez, Mom.
Really special. It's making me cry.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for you.
Yes, Mom.
How was the birthday party?
Good. I love it here.
It was so fun.
I'm so fun.
You love birthday parties?
I love birthday parties.
Mason, did you know that
Yeah.
on Instagram, 1.5 million people have seen this video of you laughing?
Yeah.
It was just so genuine and real, right? Totally uninhibited, genuine joy at this rare moment to be invited somewhere. And I think that's why it was so contagious. I think it really resonates with us as humans and our desire to belong.
Everyone belongs.
Everyone belongs, huh?
Man, Mason, you have a great smile. Also, Mason is apparently a fantastic dancer. There was lots of hula dancing at that party. Her birthday's coming up. She's planning to do some hip hop. Here's to all the good days ahead. Thank you for being with us. You can watch anywhere, anytime on the free CBC News app and subscribe to the National's YouTube channel. I'm Adrienne Arsenault. Take care.